Good evening, everybody, and welcome to That's Good Pasta, our weekly podcast about creepy pastas and all kinds of spooky, I don't know, other gluten pasta products. With me, as always, is my tech boy, my producer, my all around scamp, and his name would be.
Jared.
There you go. Got this. I'm proud of you. Proud of you, Jared. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a kind of a unique little little video, I guess, is something that we reviewed. It's called My House Walkthrough, and the video is by Nana Nana 825763. Hell of a name. Um, so this one was given to me by Jared. He says, "I don't know if you know anything about this, but just go into it blind." So I did. And Jared, are you willing to uh, do the summary for us today?
Yeah, I'll give you a little history and then I'll talk about the video. Okay, so this was around 2017 by Nana, like Thomas said, and then a string of numbers. But he already said that, so I don't have to.
Good.
Back when it first came out, there was little known about Nana. They did a couple well-known videos featuring a doll. A lot of his stuff has to do with dolls, and they're all horror based. And then this one came out and kind of exploded because it was creepy. No one really knew exactly who it came from, and eventually there's videos on it. Like I think Markiplier and PewDiePie made a video on it. I learned about it. I watched it originally, forgot about it, and then relearned about it from Goose Boost in one of his um, videos, and he kind of goes over it and kind of goes over Nana as well. So what the video is about is a gentleman, or I don't know, I think it's a gentleman. I don't know. It's about a person. Oh, go ahead.
It seems like it would be a gentleman, if that makes any sense.
It's about a person walking through their grandparents' house, through these hallways, and it's obviously very dilapidated. But he says they still live there, and he shows you a picture of from around World War II era. Shows you a picture of his grandmother. Shows you when he opens a sliding door that it leads to the longest hallway in the house. And then it resets, kind of. He shows you the same picture. This time he shows you the bathroom, his grandmother's room, and then the longest hallway again, and then it resets. Next time, it shows I believe it shows the pictures again. It shows the bathroom, but it talks about how his grandfather always has mantras or sutras playing on radio, and he goes through another cycle and another cycle, and then eventually the house gets more dilapidated. A couple more cycles, gets a lot more red, bloody. A lot of there's a room with just Hina dolls in there, but those are all like molded.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong. I wasn't quite sure about this, but every time that he goes through the house, it becomes more and more dilapidated, right?
It takes like a few, and then it starts to do it.
Okay.
He lets you know that like when it rains, the roof comes off, the paper on the roof comes off.
I wonder, is it the translation? Because he talks about when it's raining, the walls come apart. Is he talking about like the paint or whatever on the walls, you think?
Probably the paint, and I think a lot of it is like uh, the paper on those sliding doors
Mm.
and stuff like that. And then eventually it gets to a cycle where it's all red. There's blood on the floor. There's blood in the sink.
Jared, that's from the Beatles.
Oh,
That's what he says. But mm,
and then we get a view of the grandmother because she's there. She's taking a nap, She's in the bed, having a good time. Sutras are
Just
going,
there she is. There's my grandmother.
and that's about the end of the video.
Well, we saw his grandfather in the bathroom in the tub.
Oh yeah, he was taking a bath. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
just just hanging out there.
Before I continue, though, you had never seen this before, correct?
Never seen it.
What were your thoughts watching it?
So it reminded me a lot of PT, just the endless looping of hallways, because there was like a certain pattern to like how he would do things. Like this is the longest hallways. The tatami mats are in bad condition. The paint's coming off of the walls. My grandfather likes sutra music. This is the shrine to the ancestors. This is the picture of World War II. But then it kind of changes up a little bit because then he kind of goes out of order. He's like, this is the bathroom. Well, the bathroom wasn't in the last rotation. It's like, oh, this is the dress room. And then he goes back around. This is the doll room. Goes back around. This is the bathroom and the doll room. I'm like, what's going on?
I like when he's like, "This is my grandmother's mannequin." That's not the time to show me that.
Yeah. Well, also like, don't worry, that's not blood. And he kind of like pauses. Okay. So, but yeah, it was kind of interesting. It gave me that very much of that PT vibe. I was always wondering when the camera was out of focus, like when going down the hallway, that we would see something,
Yeah,
and never quite did. But there's definitely a presence of some kind there.
the never-ending tension that never gets relieved.
Yeah.
Because there's no like spoilers. There's no jump scare.
Mm-mm.
It's all
It just-
atmosphere.
It just ends with good night, sweet dreams.
Yeah, he's like, "See you guys." I didn't want you to look anything up because if you want to go back, he has a making of video where he
Ooh.
shows how he, kind of just like how he makes that look with all like the paper mache, kind of wet paper mache. There's like
Mhm.
paper all over the place. How he makes the grandmother and the grandfather, and it's to this very kawaii music, this very cutesy music. But he just kind of goes over it, shows you how he did it. His older videos are pretty creepy too. He especially uses one of these Hina dolls in them, and it's pretty creepy because I always am creeped out by dolls whenever it's in a scary place.
So he has like those Hina dolls, but he also has like those miniature dolls. Did you see those that were like almost in pristine condition
Hmm.
on the shelf? It was so out of place because like this whole house is like, it looks like a hoarder's like nest is what it looks like.
Mm.
But then when he's like going through that doll room or dress room, whichever it was that time, he like goes to the right, and then on the shelf are these little tiny dolls that are just in absolute perfect condition. He's like, those are the dolls, and it looks like there's like a box with like hair sticking out of it.
Mm.
I was like, is somebody's head inside of that? I don't
I
know.
think it's wigs.
I was a wit. Well, we never know, Jared.
Um,
All Beals.
and the making of that house is pretty nice. It's a bit old.
Really?
It's a bit old, but it's not as cluttered
man.
and
You can buy a four bedroom family house in Japan right now for $15,000. It's like, when I go in December, I might not come back.
well, if
So-
they let you in, that's a long process.
Well, I just need to find a woman to marry, and there we go.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other issue.
Just be like, green card me.
I know.
But I thought when it came out, of course, it was inspired by PT. But I thought it was pretty creative and pretty original at the time. Especially because there's no jump scare, there's no kind of explanation to anything, just a walkthrough.
Well, I like how the walkthrough is the same, but it's never exactly the same.
Yeah.
And so you think that you're going to get something on this go around, and then he either puts it out of order or there's something new to happen. Like, and the bathroom never looks the same. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, and sometimes it looks bigger, sometimes it's like just
Just
a
a sink.
sink.
Yeah. And then that one time where his grandfather's bloody corpse or whatever was inside the bathroom, he's like, there it is. And it's like out of focus. You're just like, I didn't even know there was a tub in there. Or was there a tub in there? So it's constantly changing the environment, but going through the same like loop, which is very
Yeah.
interesting.
Apartments.com or Zillow should do this during Halloween. Just random houses, like creepy houses. You know, the virtual tours.
Mm-hmm.
Just make them creepy. Um, no, his other videos are good. This one is always sticks out when I think about creepy videos to show people when they're like, "Oh, I like creepy things. Do you have any videos?" I always send them that one.
That's pretty cool. Well, and it's such a it drops you in the middle of it. Like there's no explanation. You're just like, this is the house. It's there's a is it monsoon, right? That's going on?
Yes,
Yeah, he's like, there's a monsoon outside in Japan right now.
a
This is
typhoon.
my house. Typhoon. He's like, this is my house. This is the longest hallway in the house.
That's
This is the
Grandpa.
longest hallway. That's Grandpa's. He likes the sutra music, so
The
yeah.
image of the grandmother is very striking the first time you see it.
It just shows up, and you're just like, okay. And then that last part too, where the shrine to the ancestors was covered up, and all that red like paper mache or whatever it was,
Yeah,
that kind of freaked me out a little bit because
yeah.
the whole house starts to turn like a shade of red after like a few laps, right?
Kind of like PT. Sometimes it
Yeah.
was green, sometimes it was red.
Yeah. So,
But
do you think he was? Oh, go ahead.
I like this type of horror where it's more of an atmosphere than an actual moment or event.
Do you think he was definitely inspired by PT for this one?
I think, if I'm remembering correctly, Goose Boost did say it was influenced by PT.
Okay. It's kind of weird. Like there was that time between like 2014 and 2018 where there's a bunch of like PT knockoffs and stuff. And I don't want to say this is a knockoff. This is actually very like unique.
Yeah,
And so, but definitely a lot of people did jump from uh, that style. I guess like what you said, there was more atmosphere than there was like actual jump scares.
yeah.
So
And his other
right.
videos are super original too. So I
So I
think
haven't had a chance to look through his stuff.
I think he just had a good idea for the whole PT formula.
Hmm. Well, it's very interesting. So that was my house walk. Or do you have anything else, Jared? For
No,
this
that
one?
was all for this one.
Okay. Well, that was my house walkthrough by Nana 825763. If you're interested, Jared, I have the next story lined up. If you want to hear it.
Is it more Undertale? Deltarune. It's probably Deltarune this time.
No, it's worse. We're going back, Jared. We're going back to the golden days of the
Is it
creepy stuff.
is it Jack the Killer? Jake?
Nope, you're close though. We're doing Slender Man. The Slender Man is real.
The Slenderest Man.
The Schlindemann, as me and Jared often called him because of a weird Irish documentary that we found at 2 a.m. one time. We're just like, the hell is this?
Oh, I forgot about that.
So it's kind of a random memory, right?
We'll have tales of us driving with Johnny, cabin tales.
The reason I kind of want to do this is because we'll have some experiences with Slender Man as well. So get ready to buckle in for that 2012 Slender Man goodness with Jared and Thomas next time. But for today, that's good pasta, and I hope you guys have a spooky evening and keep it creepy. All right, bye.